Nobody could have been more sympathetic, and she has confided to me since that it was seeing me in my oiled condition that really turned the scale. What I mean is, she made up her mind to save me from myself. You know how some girls are. Angels, absolutely. Always on the lookout to pluck brands from the burning and what not. You may take it from me that the good seed was definitely sown that night." "Is that your recipe, then? You would advise the would-be bridegroom to buy a case of champagne and a wedding licence and get to work? After that it would be all over except sending out the invitations?" Reggie shook his head. "Not at all. You need a lot more than that. That's only the start. You've got to follow up the good work, you see. That's where a number of chappies would slip up, and I'm pretty certain I should have slipped up myself, but for another singularly rummy occurrence. Have you ever heard of a what do you call it? What's the word I want? What are those things fellows get sometimes? Headaches?" hazarded George. No, nothing like that. I don't mean anything you get. I mean something you get, if you know what I mean." "Measles?" "Anonymous letter! That was what I was trying to say. It's a most extraordinary thing, and I can't understand even now where the deuce they came from. But just about then I started to get a whole bunch of anonymous letters from some chappie unknown who didn't sign his name." "What you mean is that the letters were anonymous?" said George. "Absolutely. I used to get 2 or 3 a day sometimes. Whenever I went up to my room I'd find another waiting for me on my dressing table." "Offensive? Eh?" "Were the letters offensive? Anonymous letters usually are." "Well, these weren't. Not at all. And quite the reverse. They contained a series of perfectly topping tips on how a fellow should proceed who wants to get hold of a girl." "It sounds as though somebody had been teaching you jiu-jitsu by post." "They were great. Real red-hot stuff right from the stable. Priceless tips like make yourself indispensable to her in little ways, study her tastes, and so on and so forth. I tell you, laddie, I pretty soon stopped worrying about who was sending them to me and concentrated the old bean on acting on them. They worked like magic. The last one came yesterday morning, and it was a topper. It was all about how a chappie who was nervous should proceed. Technical stuff, you know, about holding her hand and telling her you're lonely and being sincere and straightforward and letting your heart dictate the rest. Have you ever asked for one card when you wanted to fill a royal flush and happened to pick out the necessary ace? I did once, when I was up at Oxford, and by Jove, this letter gave me just the same thrill. I didn't hesitate. I just sailed in. I was cold sober, but I didn't worry about that. Something told me I couldn't lose. It was like having to hole out a 3-inch putt, and, well, there you are, don't you know." Reggie became thoughtful. "Dash it all, I'd like to know who the fellow was who sent me those letters. I'd like to send him a wedding present or a bit of the cake or something. Though I suppose there won't be any cake, seeing the thing's taking place at a registrar's." "You could buy a bun," suggested George. "Well, I shall never know, I suppose. And now how about trickling forth? I say, laddie, you don't object if I sing slightly from time to time during the journey? I'm so dashed happy, you know." "Not at all, if it's not against the traffic regulations." Reggie wandered aimlessly about the room in an ecstasy. "It's a rummy thing," he said meditatively. "I've just remembered that when I was at school I used to sing a thing called the What's-its-name's wedding song. At house suppers, don't you know, and what not. Jolly little thing. I dare say you know it. It starts ding dong, or words to that effect. Hurry along, for it's my wedding morning. I remember you had to stretch out the more a bit. Deuced awkward, if you haven't laid in enough breath. The yeoman's wedding song, that was it. I knew it was some chappie or other's. And it went on, and the bride in something or other doing something I can't recollect. Well, what I mean is, now it's my wedding morning. Rummy when you come to think of it, what? Well, as it's getting tolerable late, what about it? Shift ho?" "I'm ready. Would you like me to bring some rice?" "Thank you, laddie, no. Dashed dangerous stuff, rice. Worse than shrapnel. Got your hat? All set?" "I'm waiting." "Then let the revels commence," said Reggie. Ding dong, hurry along, for it's my wedding morning. And the bride... Dash it, I wish I could remember what the bride was doing." "Probably writing you a note to say that she's changed her mind and it's all off." "Oh, my God!" exclaimed Reggie. "Come on!" End of chapter 20.